Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Stamping with Fiona. I think there might be a problem with the sound. Sorry if there is. Hopefully not. Everything's changed, so I don't know what's happened. So today I'm using Notes and Totes bundle, and you get 17 dies. The stamp set is only £18, and you get these lovely sentiments. And then you get this, which cuts out a newspaper, and so you can use these as the headlines. So I'm going to be doing that on one of them. So today I've got 2 cards for you, and then a 3D item. So absolutely fabulous, love it. So let's get cracking. So my first one, I saw this on Pinterest, and it was done by an Australian lady, and I'm sorry I can't remember her name. I will try and find it and pop it on the post. But I've used basic beige, and then this stamp here, which has like an effect of sand. And I'm going to do that with crumb cake. So I'm going to do that first, just at the bottom. There's a lot of moving pieces with this one. I hopefully have got everything ready. In fact, I've just thought of one thing I haven't, but that's okay. I'm just going to stamp this along the bottom. Turn it round and go back that way. And then I've got my sand. That should be, let's just do a little bit more up the sides, because the bag is going to cover quite a bit, but that should be enough. Right, okay. I'm not being 100%, so I'm a bit at 6s and 7s, so thank you for your patience in bearing with me. Right, now, to get the effect of the sea, I use the So Swirly embossing folder. You can use, there's another one, the 3D Soft Waves, but I went with this one. And so I've got Blueberry Bushel, Azure Afternoon, Pool Party, Balmy Blue, and Cloud Cover. Now, when I started doing it, I started at the top, and I kind of quite quickly realised my mistake, and you actually need to start at the bottom and putting them together. So I've done them at 5 centimetres by 10.5, and then I'm going to tear it. So how much do I need of that? Let's tear that. Okay, so that's going to be my base. And next I'm Pool Party. And so I'm just angling it. So it's like, kind of like the tide, you know, when the waves come up the beach and then roll back there. That's kind of the effect I'm going for. Actually, that's the wrong way around. I need to do that. So turn them that way. There we go. That's better. There we go. So just need to glue those together. Yeah, so I'm going to do the top of this one and the bottom of this piece. Who knows where my silicone mat is? Could be anywhere. Okay, there we go. And the next is pool party. So I'm going to do the same thing. Just put my wet glue at the top of that and then the bottom of this bit. And of course you could do this with blending, but then you won't get the texture of the embossing folder. Done that on the wrong side. That's okay. Just put that at the bottom. And my next bit will go on top of that. My last bit. And that's just a little bit too wide, but what I can do is when I've glued it on, then I will trim it. So it's coming down to my beach. Okay. And we'll just trim this. Might be easier to do it with scissors actually. Getting in a right pickle. There we go. And now I've got glue. There we go. That was probably the hardest bit. So embossing the bits and then layering, but it's much easier starting from the bottom and working your way up. And there we go. So now I've put the bag together. I've also got a shell which comes like 3D, so that's cute. Just pull that out like that. I'll do that in a minute. And do that in a minute. I'm going to do my sunglasses so they can be drying, unless I put, no, I didn't put adhesive sheet on the back. That would have been too sensible. think I might be nearly at the end of this glue. Okay, so I'll let those dry. You're dinky, cute. Right, so later on we're going to make this into a 3D one, but for now I've die cut it and there are some score lines. So I'm just going to fold back on the score lines. And this bit is needed when you're doing the one we're going to do, the third project we're going to do. But for now, I'm just going to trim that off. And I'm going to glue these little flaps down because they're just going to be in the way. This is the Floral Delight paper that was came out at Easter. Well, not Easter, came out for the spring. But I just thought it looks like a beach bag with sort of texture on there. Okay, so I've done that. Now I've got my handle and I've got my two side panel decorations and the base. So let's pop those on. And I want it actually going up the score line. I couldn't think what it was for a minute. Okay. And this is the vellum which goes with this designer series paper. It's I want to say floral and gingham specialty vellum, and then I just popped it onto white card so that you get the, otherwise the brown would show through. Okay, and then this is going to go across the bottom. Just holding that down to dry, and then I can trim off if there's any coming over the edge. That's fine. Okay, so let's put the handle on. Then you get a choice of handle. So there's this one or there's this one, and we'll be using that one later. And I haven't actually seen it, but apparently at the on stage where they launched this, somebody turned them into headphones. I guess if you just put a circle on the engine, turn those into headphones. So that's pretty neat. Okay, and then I've got my little purse, and I think it's too big, so I'm just going to cut that down. Now, what size did I do that? 2.5 by 2.5. Okay, I'm just going to cut that down. I feel like I'm going slowly today, and then I just went over it with pencil because it's like stitching, but it's not really visible, so I just went over it with a pencil just so you can see it. There we go. Whoops. And then I'm going to glue that on there. As with most fiddly little things, adhesive sheets would really be your friend with these. I don't know why I didn't think of them. And then my sunglasses can be hanging off the edge of the bag. Like they, my glasses are on my top. Oh, and I have got adhesive sheets on the back here. I did a job locked a while ago, so except I can't get it off. Right, take your pick tool. There you go. The glue is just coming out a fraction, but I can get that off later. Now, I've just bent it round to get like slight 3D effect. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put my dimensionals on the actual score line. So I need a new pack of dimensionals. I've got one solitary one here. Put that there. Oh, I love starting a new pack of dimensionals. That's how sad I am. One there. So there was my card. So that will now sit. Where's my dimensionals there? So it just sits up a fraction. I might do another one down the bottom there actually. But I'm not putting anything in the middle because that's where my newspaper is going to go. And I realised I was putting that in blank, as you can see in that one. And for some reason I did it in petal pink because it made me think of the Financial Times. I have no idea. I wouldn't be reading the Financial Times on holiday. I never read it anyway. Just, I don't know why I thought of it, but anyway, just tickled me that. There we go. Oh, I just remembered a trick somebody I saw. So you know if you've taken the backings off your, let's go with one of the new ones. Oh, it's pumpkin pie. And this is Timid Tiger. That's another name. So I'm going to go. So when you take a dimension off now, you should be able to tell if you've taken the backing off. Let's see if it works. Let's just pop this on. There you go. Right, so I've also got my shell, which I'm going to pop some glue on. And my starfish. And the starfish, I'm going to use glue dots rolled up to give it a little bit of height. So I'll pop one on there and then roll another one up and put it on top so I can get hold of it. There we go. Okay, now my newspaper. So, yeah, this paper's from last year, Nature's Sweetness, and I'm sure, yes, there it is. It's got some text, and I don't think I've used it. Just check I haven't got a small of it. I think the white might be better. So I just need to measure. I need to stamp my sentiment, and then it will fit in here, which is 3.5 by 4. 3.5 by 4. Crash my one. So it's 3.5 along. That's centimeters. Writing going the right way up. Yeah, just pop that on. And my sentiment I did exclusive made just for you. Now, normally I stamp sentiments in Memento Black, but I'm loving this new in colour secretly. So I'm going to do that. Straight. There we go. And then that one's sticking out a bit. That one needs to tuck in under there. Oh, my dimensionals are stopping it. Thought I'd allowed enough space, but obviously I hadn't. So I'm just going to trim it a little bit at each side. There we go. So it will fit in there. Okay, I think we're done. Oh, just a little bit of white on the glasses, if I can find my white pen, which I can't. This is not the one I used. It's chalk marker. Okay, so that's card number 1. I seem to have taken forever. Yeah, I've taken a long time on that one, so apologies. Okay, so moving on to card 2, and this is a much quicker one. Also, I forgot to say, I'm really not with it today. If you spend £25 in my online store, I will send you the kit to make all 3 of these projects. Everything will be cut for you, but I can't stamp, so I can't stamp the sentiments for you. Couldn't stamp the pebble, the beach, or the flowers here. And you'll get a full tutorial with instructions, measurements, and photos. Okay, so moving on, this is an easel card, and it's in blueberry bushel. So it starts off with a regular card size half A4. Let me just clean that and pop that out of the way. There we go. I'll make a bit more space. And I want it this way, okay? Now I'm going to need a bit of space because I'm going to have to get my trimmer on here. So it's an easel card and it stands up like that. And so for this one, all I've used is the sentiment, and then the designer series paper that I've used is from the Wildflower Birthday. I've got loads of it and it's gorgeous. So let me bring my trimmer in. And I'm going to, this is my front. So I'm just going to move it to 3 centimetres. I'm going to cut up to my score line. Yep, up to the score line. And then the same with this one, 3 centimetres. So then I end up with these 2 flaps and there. And I'm using the new party banners for this one. Now on my card here, I added the party banners, but I didn't shape the bit underneath. So I think I'm going to try just maybe with some scissors to cut it out, because I feel like it just doesn't look quite right. So I'm going to take a pencil, which I had here a minute ago. There we go. So this is really on the fly. This could end up being a complete disaster. I could do it with my die cut machine, but I think that would be a bit more tricky. So let's give it a go. I think I better put the cap on that before I stab myself. And there's a slight curve to it. Okay, well, we'll be able to see if it looks any better. I just need to rub that pencil mark out now. Right, okay, so these two flaps get glued down, okay? They're kind of, you could cut them off, but I think it's nicer to have the, so, hello, top, bottom, come on glue, and then line it up with the card. Same here. Making sure it's straight. Yeah, there we go. Okay, let's see my trim of that. I forgot to do something. So this bit here, the flap, needs to be scored in half. So it measures 10.5. So it needs to be scored at 5.25. So get my bone folder. Okay, now let's get this out of the way because it's got on top of my other bits. So I've got my party banner in blueberry bushel, party banner in white. This white piece is going on the inside, like so. There we go. And I've got my 2 pieces of designer series paper. It's just going to go on the sides. No, I did it right the first time. And there's just a bit of overhang on the sides. So I'm going to just trim those off. Okay, so now because it's an easel card, you only glue the bottom half. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to do my stamping. So we've got this one here, which is flowers. And I did that in blueberry bushel. I stamped off on that one, but I'm going to do it full strength this time. And I'm also going to stamp my sentiments. I did it in the, I actually did that in Memento Black, but I think the blue will look better. That's a bit dry. So I'm going to use that one. And the sentiment was sending warm wishes. There's also just a note. I could do just a note actually. Yeah, let's do that. Pretty. I'm going to need to wet these, they're a bit dry. There we go. No, so just putting it together now. My glue is just about had it, I think, so I'm going to use seal. Okay, and then it's just going on. So I'm going to put a strip across there. Just got a bit of ink here. Let's get that off. I was going to have a gem on top of it. Okay. So to make the easel, well, I need the gems. There we go. I used the opal rounds and blueberry bushel. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, I'm just going to give these a second to dry because they might come off from my fingers. So, sending warm wishes just for you. That's just a note, but I'm not going to put anything there. I'm just going to put my gems. So, one, two, three, 4. So that will, oh, keep it in place like that. And then up here, I think I must have it on my fingers. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nine. And I managed to get ink all over the card. So it needs some more gems. So try not to get blue ink all over your white card. But there we go. That's how to make the easel. Right, so that's the 2 cards. And then we're going to do the 3D project. So this is how to make an actual tote. And I think I just better clean my hands. Okay, so what have we got here? We've got the newspaper, but I cut it on the edge, on the fold, sorry, of a piece of card. So I'm going to turn that into a little card. I've got 2 pieces of the tote cut out, and this is from this Ottilie paper. And you could use whichever side. I'm going to go with this side. It took me forever to work out what this is. It's a sun cream, and there's a cap. I've got these little, look like fish to go on my handles. I've got a scarf, just in some coloured paper. I might do the green actually. No, I'll do the coloured paper. So, right, those hands are going to annoy me. Right, let's put the tote bag together first. So we've got these folds. I will go over with my bone folder in a second. Make some space. Thing is, these are so tiny they'd be really easy to lose. So I'm going to pop those on my block. And that bit as well. That's for the front of the bag. Okay, so let's do the creasing. green glue for this. And these have got really tiny little fold there. That's one. There we go. So now I can start putting together. So what I'm going to do first is glue these little tiny little pieces. And just hold that for a second. And then I'll do the other one. And just hold it for a second. Okay. And then the idea is that they will slot into place like so. So I'm going to do the bottom part first. And just up to the crease line. You know what, I'm going to cut that bit off because it's getting in my way. I think I did that last time. Now I'm going to put those two together. And this is probably where I need my pegs. Okay. Now I've got two handles, but one is going to be the front and one is going to be the back, and I'm only going to decorate the front. So let's just pop these on. So this is going to be the front. Using silver. Come on. There we go. And I have done the base to go all the way around. Oops, that's just moved. I should have done this before I put it together. I've realised now. Just going to squish it down. I'm getting a bit of a crease before I try and glue it. There we go. That's the back of the bag. Okay, so I need to put my other handle on. Got glue all over me now. There we go. Oh, I have got the bits to the other side. I'll pop my scarf on, and I've got my tiny little bits there for here. Such attention to detail is incredible. Because it's full, it's not wanting to stick. And then my Louis Vuitton logo. Haha. Now my scarf. will go on my strap there. Ow. So I'm waiting. I saw a consultant and I'm waiting for carpal tunnel surgery, and my right hand is getting really bad, so apologies. I will put those on later. And then here I've got my little newspaper. So I was just going to do a little cello bag with some chocolates in, and then this little newspaper. Newsflash, you're fabulous. And I'll do that one in secrecy. And just decorate that, pop that in there. Oh, they're not dry. No, they're not dry. I tell you what, I'm going to use a mini dimensional. There we go. That's better. So you've got your little gift card, which you can decorate. And I just wanted to show you some of the other things. So we've used, so that is the suntan lotion. I can put my bottle in there. We've used the starfish. We've used these, which are for the bag. We use the scarf. You've got a bottle of water here. You've got some small suntan lotion, a different type of handle. That's the one we used before. That's the sunglasses. This die is the one that does the sides and the bottom. This is my newspaper. This was the pocket we cut down as a little tag. And then with this, you can make a fence. So you've got 3 posts and then the one going across. I haven't tried that yet, but I will do. I really love that. So that's just enough room. I've actually got some Hotel Chocolat chocolates. Let's go in a little cello bag. And yeah, that's really cute. Especially, I really like the little card using the newspaper. So just to recap, we've got that one which has got a lot of ink on it. That was my original one. So that's the easel. And then we've got this one. I absolutely love this one with the different colours for the sea. So don't forget, if you spend £25 in my online store by Tuesday at midnight, I will send you everything pre-cut to make these 3 projects, except for the stamped. So I can't stamp any of the sentiments or the beach for you. But thanks for watching. And next week, I have a feeling it's the party banners and large letters, which I'm so excited about. I can't wait to have a play with them. So thanks for watching. Have a lovely bank holiday weekend. See you next week.